Hi everyone, Kaylee Shadows here from KayleeShadows.com. First off, I'm going to apologize if you hear a little buzzing. It's probably my heater because over here it's still freezing cold right now, and we even got snow again this morning, and I'm not sure what's going on with Mother Nature here, but I'm ready for spring. It's so cold. So if you hear some buzzing, sorry about that, just trying to stay warm. Anyways, I wanted to come to you today, just real quickly, and kind of talk about a really neat experience that I had this last weekend. So I was at my favorite coffee shop over in Tri-Cities, Washington. If you've ever been over there, go to Roasters because they are the best coffee ever. Anyways, my husband and I always make it, like a tradition. Like if we're going there, we're gonna stop at Roasters and get coffee because it's great. So we go there and we get our coffee, and I'm actually sitting there. My husband's in the driver's seat and I'm in the passenger, and I'm talking to my oldest son who's in the back seat trying to tell me some story. And the barista looks down at the car and she sees my magnet, and it says, Kaylee Shadows and, relationship advice and all the cool stuff I do. And she's like instantly excited, and she's like, so what is this? Explain this, and who are you and everything. And she asked me, she was like, what is the best relationship advice you've ever given? And I was like, wow, that's a really good question, and also really hard because I've given so much different advice over the years and to so many different people that it's hard to just narrow it down to one specific thing and go, this is the best advice I've ever given, because every circumstance is different, every relationship is different. And so it really, being put on the spot like that, I kind of went, oh my gosh, and then it clicked, and I thought the one thing, and I say this a lot, like if you're ever on my website and you're reading, any of my posts or anything and stuff, one of the things that I tend to say a lot that goes to people is to always love each other. No matter what the situation is, no matter what the relationship is, I don't care if it's mother-daughter, husband-wife, friends, whatever your relationship is, you have to remember how much you love each other. Because that's essentially why we do any of this, or put up with any of the stuff we put up with, or feel the way that we feel. You need to remember that, because sometimes, no matter what the relationship is, you're gonna fight. You're gonna have moments where you're not so crazy about each other, and you have to remember in those moments, in your darkest moments, that you still love that person so much. So I think that that's probably the best advice I could ever give, is just to always love each other, because that's how we get through things. Because at the end of the day, all that pettily little tiny things that you bickered about or whatever don't matter. But what does matter is how much you loved each other. And that's the kind of stuff that you remember. And I was really thinking about this. I posted last week about how a couple weeks ago we, very suddenly lost my aunt, who was this amazing woman. And this weekend I was down in Oregon for her memorial, and it was, amazing to see all the people that showed up. Like, I'm talking that this place was just packed with just people. And I mean, a third of them I didn't even know. And I was like, this is odd. This is my family. How do I not know most of you people? But it really was just a testimony of how loved she was and how many people she had touched in her life. And I thought that was one thing I was great about my aunt, is that she was so expressive. Like, she could easily tell you how she felt about you, even if it wasn't always good. But most of the time it was. And she had no problem saying, I love you, I forgive you, whatever it was. That was the kind of person that she was. And that's just super great, because a lot of people aren't like that. And she always remembered that no matter what the situation was or whatever had happened, that she could say, I love you. And I mean, even me personally, we had a falling out about 7 years ago, and had even went through a little bit where we really didn't speak to each other, and then eventually started talking again, because we're family and we love each other, and just kind of rebuilt our relationship over these last 7 years. And the last thing I remember her really telling me was last year. It was Mother's Day, and we were hanging out and everything, because we do this big Mother's Day thing every year, and it was like everybody was talking and it was crazy and stuff, and she tapped me on the knee and she was like, hey, and she was like, I want you to know that you and I are back to where we used to be. And it was just in the middle of everything. Like, it was just that. It was that thing where she was able to look at me and realize that she had completely forgiven me and that she loved me, and she wanted me to know right then. And so she let me know right then. And now that she's gone, I'm so thankful to have had that moment, to know that there was no question, that she had forgiven me, that we had made it past all of this crap that was seriously crap in the past that didn't mean anything, and that, you know, she was able to forgive me and love me and tell me, you know, and so now there's no question. And that's awesome, you know. And when talking to her daughters, you know, her daughter said that besides, of course, how hard all of this has been, the thing is that now she's got like regrets. Like, she's remembering certain things, like, you know, oh, my mom wanted me to go shopping, but I hated shopping, so I didn't really take her shopping very much, you know. Or she wanted to sit and watch TV, you know, for hours, and I'm not much of a TV person. I didn't really want to sit and watch TV for hours, you know. And now she's kind of regretting that, like, well, maybe I should have just sat down and watched this stupid TV show, or maybe I should have just gone shopping, you know. And that's kind of a focus. And I think sometimes when we lose somebody, we do that. We kind of go into that focus of what I did, what I didn't do, you know, I should have done this, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. But if she was here, my aunt was here now, I know that she would hug her and she would tell her all of that stuff is crap. It doesn't mean anything. Us watching TV, going to the store, it doesn't matter, because we had a lifetime together, a lifetime of memories and love and happiness. And that's what you need to remember. Not what we did or didn't do kind of thing. Those things aren't important. It's, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that she didn't go shopping or that she didn't watch TV with her. It matters that she loved her and was loved back. So that is the greatest advice that I can give. And I really just want to keep passing that on. The same thing that I told the barista, it was, like I said, it was really exciting because she was like, hey, you do this, tell me right now, what is the best advice you can give me? And I was like, oh no. And I got my oldest son in the back, you know, rambling on some story, and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to tell you something, and this woman keeps talking to you and everything. And so I finally had to be like, hold on a second, hon, let me talk to her real quick, it'll just be a couple minutes. And I gave her the advice, and she thought that was really neat, and she talked to me a little bit more, and that was basically it. And, you know, in the 5 minutes it takes basically to get your coffee kind of thing, you know. However, it was really neat as I drove away to think, in that 5 minutes that I had to, you know, to talk with someone who I've never met, who obviously wanted some kind of advice that I could offer, I gave her the best advice that I knew I could give her. Is to, no matter what the situation is always love each other. It's that simple. So, check out my website, KayleeShadows.com, and love you much.